Okay, so let's proceed guys sa Engineering Economy lecture natin. Sorry for the wait guys. Iba yung kulo ng chan ko kasi. Okay, dito tayo sa ano muna guys. Okay, identification. Okay, it is the analysis and evaluation of the factors that will affect the success of engineering projects to the end that a recommendation be made which will ensure the best use of capital. So this is our topic for today, okay, which is engineering economy. Okay. So the second one naman, it is the economic or market situation in which only a single seller. So ito yung pinaka titignan natin dyan guys, no? Okay, meron siyang bilang lang ng seller or producer. Okay, supply sa commodity, okay, or a service. That is what we term naman guys as monopoly. So ito yung tatandaan natin kapag binibilang yung sellers, no? Okay, sa type ng economic situation or market situation. Okay, may ginagamit tayo na suffix na poly kapag it pertains guys to the number of sellers. Okay, gumagamit tayo ng prefix na mono to indicate 1, duo to indicate 2, and gumagamit din tayo guys ng oligo. Okay, kapag di niya binibilang, no? Okay, kapag sinasabi niya lang, konti lang daw. Okay, yung sellers natin dyan. So, yan yung ano natin guys, mga suffix and prefix. Okay, na ginagamit natin for a type of market situation. Sige, let's proceed na. It is a market situation in which there are so few suppliers. Okay, so ito, few suppliers. Pwede na tayo mag-end up dyan. So sabi niya, few lang yung suppliers mo. So few is for oligo, sellers or suppliers is for poly. So that is termed as oligopoly lang din ito. Okay. So ganyan lang mag-name up, no? Okay, ng market situation natin, guys. Question, guys, about this one. Sa mga nag-screenshot, sige guys, screenshot yan. Okay, let's proceed na sa next set of ano natin guys, identification. It is a market condition in which a product is traded freely by buyers and sellers, okay, in large numbers without any individual transaction affecting the price. Okay, so dito guys, hindi niya binibilang yung sellers. Hindi niya rin binibilang yung buyers. Sabi niya, okay, pwede daw mag-trade freely. No? Okay, yung buyers and sellers natin guys in a large number. Okay, walang ano guys, walang boundary yung bilang nila. So this is what we term, pag walang limit yung bilang nila guys, that is what we term as the perfect competition. Okay. Next, ito guys, kapag walang specific na bilang ng sellers, no, or specific na bilang ng buyers. Okay, next one, it is an economic or market situation or condition, okay, in which a single consumer or buyer, okay, buys a commodity or a service from a suppliers. Okay, from suppliers. It is what we term naman guys as monopsony. So kapag ano naman guys, buyer, ang ginagamit natin na suffix, itong pison. Okay, kapag binibilang natin yung buyers or consumers. Okay, yung term na ginanggit niya. Okay, next term natin guys, it is an economic or market situation in which there are many sellers or producers that supplies a commodity, okay, to a commodity or a service to a very few consumers. Very few consumers. So, limited lang yung bilang ng consumers. Okay? So, pag sabi natin kanina, pag few, it pertains to a prefix na oligo. Tapos, buyers or consumers. So, pag pinagsama natin yon, it is termed as oligopsony lang ito. Okay, so tandaan lang yan, yung mga prefix and suffix na ginagamit natin, guys. Depende kung sellers yung binibilang or buyers ba yung binibilang sa atin. Alright, sige, screenshot niya muna, guys. Okay, punta tayo sa next one. It is an economic system based on the private ownership of the means of production and distribution of goods characterized by a competitive market and motivation by profit. Okay, so parang pinaka natin dyan, guys, pinaka-clue natin itong ang motivation niya lang is mag-profit and also private ownership daw ito. So, private ownership na ang motivation lang is to have a profit. Okay, it is what we term, guys, as ang board exam natin, guys, may mga concepts, no? Okay, hindi natin masabi kung saan maraming concepts yung lalabas. Okay, paiba-iba kasi sa examiner. Kaya as much as possible, kung mabibigyan natin ng concept bawat subject, bibigyan natin ng concept, guys. Okay? That is correct, no? Okay, this term is what we term as capitalism. All right. Next, okay, blank are tangible things. Okay, things that you can touch that satisfy human wants. Okay, kapag nahawakan natin, guys, okay, that is what we term naman as goods. All right. So, meron din naman kabaliktaran. Ito yung non-tangible things. Hindi natin nahahawakan. Pero these are activities that people do for themselves or for the other people to satisfy their wants. Okay? That is what we term naman. That is correct, no? Ito naman yung services. Okay? Next, okay, products or services that are required to support human life and activities, okay, which will purchase in somewhat the same quantity, even though the price varies considerably. Sino naman nyo to, guys? Bibili natin kahit magmahal pa yan. Okay, so that is what we term as necessities. Minsan, tinatawag din natin yan, guys, na needs. Okay, same lang din naman yan dyan. Same lang din naman yan sa necessities. Okay, ano ba yung mga pwede natin i-consider na necessities natin, guys? Siyempre, food. Okay, mamatay tayo pag di tayo nakakain ng food. Okay, siyempre, guys, clothes. Kapag sobrang init, kailangan may pang-cover tayo sa init. Kapag sobrang lamig, kailangan may pang-cover tayo pag sobrang lamig. Okay, water, yes. Okay. Healthcare. Sa bagay, no? Okay, ano ba? Yung ano natin, guys, shelter. Okay, shelter natin is also necessary. Okay. This one. All right. So, next tayo, guys. Okay. Actually, guys, healthcare is a luxury. Okay? Para makapagpa-hospital, it is a luxury. Okay? Kasi pwede naman nating minsan Okay, pag money is available, pwede tayo makapagpa-hospital. Okay, money is available, pwede tayo mag-allot for healthcare. But if money is not available, okay, igpit yung budget mo. Okay, iaalat lang natin yan guys for food, shelter, and clothes. No? Okay, yun lang madalas yung ano natin dyan guys. Okay, fall under sa necessities. Okay, healthcare, okay, insurance, no? Okay, yung mga yan guys, luxuries na yan. If money is available, saka lang natin yan mabibili. Okay, once na nakapag-alat na tayo doon sa mga necessities natin. Okay? Yun guys, yung next term natin. Products or services that are desired by humans and will be purchased if money is available after the required necessities have been obtained. So, it is luxuries, guys. Okay? Alright. Next, the quantity of a certain commodity that is bought at a certain price at a given place and time. Pag nabili na guys, okay, it is what we term as demand. Okay? Or quantity demanded. Okay, kapag nabili na. Okay? Pag bibilin pa lang guys, sige, sa mga nag-screenshot nyo muna. Alright. Sige, next na tayo. Okay, the quantity of a certain commodity that is offered for sale. Ibebenta pa lang. At a certain price at a given place and time. So, pag ibebenta pa lang guys, it is what we term as supply or quantity supplied. Alright. Last two terms natin. Okay, blank under conditions of perfect competition, the price at which a given product will be supplied and purchased, okay, is the price that will result in the supply and demand being equal. Okay, so ang gawin natin guys, create tayo ng, okay, supply curve. Okay, tsaka yung ano natin guys, demand curve natin. Sabihin natin yung x-axis natin is the price. Okay, yan natin guys, y-axis natin is the quantity. Okay. So, for this one, okay, pwedeng balik na rin natin, guys. Okay, x-axis natin yung, okay, quantity. Okay, y-axis natin yung price. Pwede naman yan mag-ano, guys. The other way around. Alright, sa supply curve muna tayo, guys. Pag mataas yung supply, okay, ano nangyayari sa presyo ng ano natin, guys? Goods and services. Okay, mas mataas din yung presyo o bumababa yung presyo? Ito guys, ano ka, okay, negosyante point of view. Okay? Pag marami kang supply ng, ano guys, okay, particular commodity, ano gagawin mo sa presyo? Tataasan mo, bababaan mo? Guys, ikaw yung negosyante, marami kang supply. Anong gagawin mo sa presyo? Bababaan mo? Tatakasan mo. Okay, negosyante ka guys eh. Negosyante ka. Okay? So, kapag mataas na supply mo, tataasan mo yung ano guys, yung presyo. Order ka eh. Okay? Ganun yan. No? So, yung supply natin guys, it is directly proportional, okay, doon sa presyo natin. Okay? With that, okay, pag bumaba guys yung quantity natin, okay, yung scalper. Pag bumaba guys yung quantity natin, yung presyo bumababa rin kasi pinapaubos na lang natin eh. Binababaan na lang natin yung presyo pag ganun. Okay? So we can say dahil directly proportional guys yung quantity sa price, okay? It has a straight line curve lang. Okay? So yan yung supply curve natin guys. Okay? Next, punta naman tayo sa demand curve. Ito naman guys, ano ka naman? Okay, mamimili point of view. Ikaw yung bumibili. Okay? So, pag maraming bumibili guys, what does it mean? Kailan ba maraming bumibili? Okay, kapag 'di ba pag sobrang mura, okay, nung presyo natin guys, okay? Konti lang bumibili pag sobrang mahal. So, it has inverse proportionality, no? Yung price tsaka yung quantity. Okay, kaya parang ganito na itsura ng demand curve natin. Okay, they are inversely proportional to each other. So in this case, kung saan man sila mag-meet, guys, yun daw yung magiging presyo, no? Okay, na gagamitin natin, guys. Okay, that is what we term as, kasi nag-meet yung supply and demand curve natin, that is the law of supply and demand. Yes, that is what we term as the equilibrium price. Okay, pag nag-meet dun sa ano natin, guys. All right. And then lastly, okay, when the use of one of the factors of production is limited, either in increasing cost or by absolute quantity, a point will be reached, okay, beyond which an increase in the variable factors will result daw in a less than proportionate increase in output. Ito naman, guys, yung wala na masyado dinadagdag sa output, okay, that is what we term as the law of diminishing returns. Alright. So, yan yung ano natin, guys, no? Okay, mga terms, no? Okay na kailangan tandaan pagdating sa engineering economy natin. Alright. Sige, kung may nag-aalaman din, guys, nag-screenshot, sige, screenshot nyo muna. Grabe mga scalper sana, guys, no? Concert. Kaya kapag nanonood ng basketball, grabe overpriced. Okay, punta tayo, guys, sa next topic natin, the simple interest. Okay, it is a type of interest daw on an investment that is calculated once per period, okay, usually annually, on the amount of the capital alone and not any interest already earned. So meron tayong two types ng simple interest. The first one, it is a type of simple interest in which interest is calculated as through each month had 30 days. Okay, ito, guys, it's what we term as, okay, the ordinary simple interest. Okay? Since, ano natin, guys, ang taon, may 12 months, okay, with this, we can say na, okay, yung isang taon natin sa ordinary simple interest, meron 30 times 12 na days in total, no? Or 360 days. Ano yung tinatawag natin, guys, kapag yung year natin may exactly 360 days? What year yung tawag natin dyan? Anyone? Okay. So, yung year na tawag natin, guys, kapag meron tayo exactly 360 days, okay, that is what we term as the banker's year. Okay? So, tandaan natin yan, no? Okay, a year with exactly 360 days, that is banker's year. Baka tanongin din sa board exam. Okay, yan yung ginagamit natin na term, okay, pagdating dito. Okay, punta tayo, guys, sa, okay, formula ng simple interest, mapa ordinary, or yung second type natin mamaya, which is exact. Okay? So, capital I natin dyan, guys, is yung mismong simple interest. Okay, yung P natin is the present worth ng pera. Small I natin is interest per period. So, interest per period natin, guys, equivalent din sa simple interest rate natin, okay, over nung number of periods. Okay, so, R natin dyan, guys, ito yung mismong, ano natin, rate of interest. Ito yung mismong rate of interest. Okay, M natin is number of period. So, guys, yung M natin dyan, okay, ginagawa natin siyang 1 kapag Okay, yung N natin guys is in years. Okay? M natin, ginagawa natin 12. Okay, pag N natin guys is in months. Okay, yung M natin guys, ginagawa natin 360. Pag yung N natin is in days. Okay? So yan yung mga different values ng M natin. Depende kung ano yung time elapsed ng ano natin guys. Okay, ng utang natin. Alright? Sige, screenshot nyo muna guys para sa additional na need na ano guys. Okay, isulat dyan. Huwag malito yung I natin interest per period. Hindi pa yan yung given na simple interest rate. Baka kasi i-plug in lang natin rekta yung interest rate natin kay I, no? Without knowing si I pala interest per period pa lang. Alright. Okay na siguro, no? Punta tayo guys kay problem number 1. Determine the ordinary simple interest at 5,000 pesos for 9 months and 10 days, okay, if the rate of interest is 12%. Okay, so indicate muna natin yung given. Wait lang guys, ha? Okay, state muna natin yung given. So present worth ng pera natin, ng inutang daw is 5,000 pesos. Okay, ang interest rate daw natin dyan guys is 12%. So we can let that as 0.12. Okay, dun muna tayo sa period. May nakalagay na months and may days. Maganda siguro in days na lang natin guys i-convert. Alam natin every month in guys, ordinary simple interest, may exactly 30 days. Tapos may additional ka pa na 10 days. So with this, ano yung magiging total number of natin yan guys? Okay, days na mag-elapse yung pera natin bago natin patubuin. So that is equivalent kay 280 days. Ang gagamitin natin na I, that is equivalent lang din guys kay R over M. R natin is 0.12. M natin dahil naka-days tayo guys, 360 lang ito. Since interest natin, sabi natin equivalent sa PIN, so that is equivalent lang din kay 5,000. Okay, times I natin na 0.12 over 360. Ang N natin na nag-elapse is 280 days. Okay, with this, ano yung makuha natin ng ordinary simple interest dito, guys? Alright, so makukuha natin that is around 466 point, okay, 67 pesos ito. Alright. Question guys about this one. Ito yung sinasabi natin, no? Pag minultiply mo lang yan guys ng 0.12, siguro ang ginawa, minultiply lang by 1.12. Okay, yung rectang minultiply ng guys, 1.12, kapag yung utang mo nag-elapse ng 1 year, doon siya magpa 5,600. Future worth yun. Pero guys, ang hinanap dito, interest lang. Tapos yung pera mo, hindi naman pinatubo ng 1 year. Okay, limited lang guys, di ba umabot ng 1 year. 9 months and 10 days lang. So, mali yung 5,600 din kung future worth yung hinahanap natin. Be careful about that one, guys, ha? Okay, yung 12%, hindi yan palagi na no? Okay, yung period natin, hindi laging within 1 year. Ito, guys, 9 months and 10 days yung binanggit. Pero, okay, yung 12% na yun, guys, katumbas kasi yan, okay, na interest within a year. Kaso nga lang, guys, hindi pa aabot ng 1 year. Kaya less than 600 pa yung tubo. Okay, na-screenshot na to, guys. Okay na ba tayo dyan? Sige. Let's proceed sa number 2. So, guys, medyo madali, no? Future worth natin, equal lang sa present worth plus ng interest. Since present worth ng pera natin is 5,000, na-compute natin ang interest is 466.67. So, future worth natin, literal na add lang. So, that is equivalent lang din sa okay, 5,466.67 lang din ito. Sir, pag wala po binanggit na simple Ordinary? Matik po ba na ordinary yun? Okay, mamaya may basis tayo niyan. Pagdating natin sa exact simple interest, babanggitin natin yung kung kailan gagamitin sa ordinary, kailan gagamitin si exact simple interest. Okay, but for now, since ordinary simple interest yung problem, ordinary muna tayo guys. Ordinary lang yung ilalapat natin. Okay? Sige, let's proceed sa number 3. Okay, if 1,000 pesos accumulates 1,500 pesos when invested in a simple interest for 3 years, what is the rate of interest? Okay, so indicate muna natin yung, syempre, mga given natin. So present worth ng pera daw natin guys is 1,000 pesos. And then after a particular number of years, magiging 1,500 daw ito. And natin guys is 3 years. Bali, interest natin guys, magiging R over 1 lang ito. Or simply R na lang din. Okay? Sabi natin kanina, F natin is equal kay P times 1 plus IN. So, this one will be equal kay 1,500. Equal lang din kay 1,000 times 1 plus R times 3 lang ito. So, solving for R, okay, ano yung nakuha nyo dyan guys? 0.5. Okay, so makuha natin is 0.1667 lang ito. In percentage, that is equivalent lang din kay 16 point. Okay, 67% na naman ito. Yan na naman tayo guys, dinivide nyo lang. Okay, tapos kaya 0.5 yung nakuha. Okay, 1.5 over 1,000, 1.5. Tinamad na naman computin yung R. Yan yung tubo, guys. Okay, kung sinabi niya na 1 year lang, nakilang sa interest. That is incorrect. Okay. So, let's proceed sa number 4. Okay, Jojo daw bought a second-hand DVD player and then sold it to Rowies at a profit of 40%. Rowies then sold the DVD player to Kat, okay, at a profit of 20%. Okay, if Kat daw paid 2,856, okay, more than it cost Jojo, okay, how much did Jojo pay for the unit? Okay, so sabihin natin guys, let X natin be the payment of Jojo. Okay, dun sa DVD player natin. So, ang gagawin daw ni Jojo, ibibenta na ito kay Rowies na may profit siya na 40% ng original na pagbili niya. So, binenta niya yan at 1.4x. Okay, 1.4x, yan naman yung magiging payment, guys, ni Rowies natin. So, ginawa ni Rowies, guys, binenta niya rin to kay Kat. Okay? Tumubo daw siya ng 20% na sa previous na binayad niya. So, tutubuan niya pa to ng 20%. So, that is 1.2 times 1.4x. Ito naman yung binayad ni Kat, guys. Sabi sa problem, yung binayad daw ni Kat, na represent natin na 1.2 times 1.4 times x, lamang daw yun, guys, ng 2,856. Okay, dan sa binayad ni Jojo. So, solving for x on this one, or yung binayad ni Jojo, dan sa DVD player, ano yung makukuha natin na bayad ni Jojo dito, guys? Okay. So, that is equivalent lang din sa 4,200. Alright. Sige, sa mga screenshot muna. Sagit lang, guys. Okay, then punta tayo guys sa second type, okay, ng simple interest natin. Okay, ito naman yung tinatawag natin na, okay, exact simple interest. Okay, sir, sabi nyo kanina, pag na-discuss natin yung exact simple interest, okay, i-discuss natin dito yung difference ni ordinary kay exact. Para magamit natin guys sa exact simple interest, okay, ginagamit lang natin ito guys kapag, okay, in-indicate niya kung kailan mo inutang yung pera and kailan mo babayaran. May dalawang dates lagi naka-indicate kapag exact simple interest. Pag ordinary simple interest, guys, sasabihin niya lang kung gaano ko tumagal yung pera. Walang date at all. Okay? So, yun yung main difference nila, guys. Okay? Ordinary simple interest, walang date na binabanggit. Exact simple interest, dapat may dalawang dates na binabanggit. Okay? Unang date is kung kailan kinuha yung pera. Okay, pangalawang date kung kailan babayaran yung pera. Okay? So dito guys, dalawa yung year na i-consider natin. Okay, the ordinary year na may 365 days and yung leap year natin na may 366 days. Okay, para malaman natin guys yung number of days in a month. Okay, gamit lang tayo ng knuckle method. Familiar guys sa knuckle method? Okay, lahat ng tatama sa knuckles, umaabot ng 31 days yung ano nila guys, yung month nila. Okay? Yung hindi tatama sa knuckles, hindi aabot ng 31 days. Okay? So, January, the tayo sa ano kayo, knuckle. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Tapos ulit lang. August, balik lang dito guys, no, sa huling knuckle. September, October, November, December. Lahat ng tumama sa knuckles guys, merong 31 days yun. Okay? Lahat hindi tatama, hindi aabot ng 31 days. So, yung formula nila, guys, okay, ng interest and future worth, pares na pares lang din sa, okay, ordinary simple interest natin. So, let's try to solve si number 5. Okay, the exact simple interest daw of 5,000 pesos invested from June 21, 1995 to December 25, 1995 is 100 pesos. What is the rate of interest daw natin dito? Alright? So, state mo na ulit natin yung given, guys, just like the previous problem. Okay, let's say, present worth ng pera natin is 5,000 pesos. Okay? Tapos, interest daw natin dyan, guys, magiging 1,000. Okay? After natin pina-elapse yung time. So, dito, guys, yung period natin, lagi lang na days ito. Okay? Hindi na siya magma-month, hindi na siya mag-year. Okay? So, June, guys, ilang days lang ba ang June? January, February, March, April, May, June. Hindi tumama sa knuckles, may 30 days lang. So, from June 21, okay, to June 30, ilang days yung mag-e-elapse nun, guys? Meron tayo dyan na 10 days. Hindi kasama, guys, si 21, eh. Okay, sa 21, hindi pa tutubo yung pera. Sa 22 pa siya tutubo. So, meron lang tayong 9 days. Literal lang na minus, guys. Okay, sa July, meron tayong 31. Babalik lang ulit no August. Tapos alternating 30 and 31 lang to. August, September, October, November, December hanggang 25 lang daw dito. So in this case, ano yung makuha natin na number of days na mag-e-elapse dito, guys? Okay, so ito is may equal lang sa 187 days. Next, doon tayo sa interest per period. Ano yung year natin ito, guys? Ordinary or leap year ito? Okay, so ordinary year lang, yung 1995. Okay, so ito guys, gagamitin natin is R over 365 lang ito. Since interest equal lang sa PIN, so it is making 100 equal lang kay 5,000. Okay, times R over 365 times ng time elapsed natin na 187. So, solving for R, okay, ano yung makukuha natin na rate of interest natin dito, guys? Okay, so makukuha natin is around 0.039, okay, or in percentage, that is around 3.9% lang din ito. Alright. Question, guys, about this one. Ano po tinatandaan nyo para malaman if leap year or not leap year? Ayun guys, dapat divisible by 4. Pag divisible by 4, it is leap year. But be careful. Yun pala, di natin nabanggit. Hindi lahat ng divisible by 4 guys is a leap year. Okay? Bakit? No? Okay? Kasi nagdadagdag tayo guys, apparently, ng one additional day every 4 years. Apparently, every 4 years. Bakit kaya natin yung ginagawa? Kasi guys, yung rotation ng Earth, hindi talaga siya exactong 24 hours. Ang rotation ng Earth, guys, it complete its rotation within 23 hours and around between 56 to 57 minutes lang. Okay, so para guys, ma-account yung sobrang 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, ang ginagawa guys, okay, nag-accumulate daw yun within 4 years, okay, na parang additional na, okay, na isang araw. Okay, pero guys, ang nangyayari pala guys, okay, yung sobra na yon, nagsa-cycle siya guys, every 400 years pala. Hindi pala every 4 years. And kapag in-accumulate natin yung sobra na 3 to 4 minutes na yon, okay, within 400 years, ang sobra na araw daw nun is 97 days lang. Eh guys, kunwari, from year 1 to year 400, di ba, divisible by 4 doon, 100 lang? Okay, so may sobra ka na naman na 3 araw. So, para guys, ma-account yung 3 sobra na araw na yun, okay, hindi siya every 4 years talaga. Okay, pero, ang maarte lang dyan guys, is yung tinatawag natin na century mark. Okay, so century mark natin guys, ito yung mga year na may 00 sa dulo. Okay? So para saktong 97 lang talaga, okay, from year 1 to year 400 or every 400 years, saktong 97 days lang talaga yung madagdagdag natin. Okay? Kapag yung century mark mo guys, hindi divisible by 400, therefore, that particular year is not considered as a leap year. Okay? So dito lang naman maarte guys, pero halos lahat ng divisible by 4 is considered as leap year. Pero pag century mark, makakonsider lang siya na leap year kapag divisible din siya by 400. Pag hindi siya divisible by 400, ordinary year lang siya. Okay, so ano ba yung pwede natin maabutan na century mark? Pwedeng 2100. Ayan, possible nata maabutan natin ito. Okay? So, ano yung classification guys ni year 2100? Is it leap year or ordinary year lang ito guys? Okay? So ito is ordinary year lang ito. Divisible siya by 4, pero dahil century mark siya guys, tapos hindi siya divisible by 400, it is considered guys as an ordinary year. So be careful guys about that one. Pero kung hindi naman siya nag-end up na 00 and divisible siya by 4, that year is considered as a leap year. Okay, sige. Baka may nag-i-screenshot. Alright. Sige, let's proceed na guys sa number 6. Calculate for the exact simple interest on 15,000 pesos for the period from February 12 to August 15, 2004 if the rate of simple interest is 12%. Okay, so state ulit muna natin yung given guys. So ang present worth daw ng pera natin dyan, yes, divide nyo muna by 4. So ito guys is 15,000. Okay, tapos ang rate of interest natin is 12%. So 0.12 lang ito. Jump na tayo guys sa interest per period. Year 2004. Okay, anong klaseng year ito guys? Leap year, ordinary year? So leap year na ito. Okay, so ang interest per period natin, pwede natin gawin na R over 366. Equal lang ito sa 0.12 over 366. Tapos time elapsed naman tayo guys. Since leap year na ito, si February, may 29 na yan. from February 12 to February 29, meron tayong 17 days na mag-elapse, no? March is pupunta sa buto. Alternating lang ito, no? Ng 30 and 31. March, April, May, June, July. Sa August, 15 days lang daw ito. So, ilang days yung mag-elapse dito, guys? Eh di, ano nyo lang, guys? Dalaway ko kasi, wait lang. Okay, kapag yung, depende ito, guys, eh. Okay, depende doon sa kung saan papasok si February 29. Kung pasok ba si February 29 or hindi. Pag hindi na bilang si February 29, guys, okay, 365 lang. Okay, kapag nabilang si February 29, no? Okay, 366 yung gagamitin. So, kahit tumawid pa yan. Basta i-consider nyo lang, mahagip ba si February 29? Pag hindi siya nahagip, guys, 365 lang. So, ilan yung magiging days elapsed dito, guys? 185 ito. So, interest natin dyan equal sa present worth na 15,000. Interest per period na 0.12 over 366. Period natin na 185 days. So, in this case, ano yung makuha natin na pinaka-interest natin dito, guys? Okay, so pinaka-interest natin dyan, that is equivalent lang din kay 909.84 pesos na kita. Okay, so ganun lang mag-compute, okay, ng exact simple interest natin dito, guys. Question about this one? Alright, mukhang wala naman. Nade-delay pa rin ba, guys? O medyo okay na? Yes, kahit na ano yan, guys. Wait lang. March to December lang. Okay, hindi niya pa nahagip si February 29, no? Okay, so 365 lang yan. Hindi niya pa naman nahagip si ano, guys, si February 29. So, kino-compute lang naman natin doon kung, okay, aabot na siya ng 366, no? Kapag kinonsider mo isang buong taon, starting from kung kailan mo kinuha yung pera. Well, sabihin natin March 1. March 1 mo na yung pera. March 1, 2024 ngayon. Okay, tapos kukunin mo yung pera February 28. Okay? 365 days lang yung mag-elapse doon. Okay, hindi, guys, 366. Nagets naman yan. Nagets naman yung concept nun, guys. Okay. Punta tayo sa rate of discount. Yes. Okay. Basta, kasi ina-account natin dyan, guys, is pag binuo mo yung isang taon, starting from kung kailan mo kinuha yung pera, okay, 366 days ba yung isang taon na yun? Eh, hindi naman nasama si February 29 eh. Okay, so, hindi natin, guys, okay, consider yun na 366. Hindi naman nagkakalayo yung ano niyan guys, result niyan. Gamitin niyo over 365 tsaka over 366. Magkalapit na magkalapit lang yan. Okay, punta tayo guys sa rate of discount. Oh yes, okay ka cross-check niyo yan guys. Basta guys, hindi mahagip si, okay, February 29. Kunwari, January 1, 2024. Okay, to January 1, 2025. Okay, yun guys, 365 days yun. As 366 days yun. Kasi mahagip niya yung February 29. Pero kapag kunwari, nag-start ka na March 1, okay, March 1, 2024, papunta sa March 1, 2025, pag binilang mo yun guys, okay, 365 days lang yun. Okay, pag binilang mo yun tayo. Pag nag-jump ka na. Ano naman guys, madalas magkakalayo naman yan. Okay, so let's try this one guys. Okay, rate of discount natin. So try natin si number 7. A college freshman borrowed 2,000 pesos from a bank for his tuition fee and promised to pay the amount, okay, for 1 year. He received only the amount of 1,920 pesos after the bank collected an advance interest of 80 pesos. What was the rate of discount daw natin? Alright, sabi natin, ang future worth equal lang kay present worth times 1 plus IN. And then kapag N natin is year sa ordinary simple interest, yung I natin equal lang din kay R. So, ang ibabayad daw natin after 1 year is 2,000 pesos, pero tanggap lang natin na pera is 1,920. Within 1 year, no? So, N natin is equal lang sa 1. Okay, with this, may mga compute tayo na value ng R dyan, no? Siyempre sa calcu, palitan na lang natin yun guys ng, okay, alpha x na lang. So in this case, shift solve natin ito guys. Okay, so natin starting from point 1. So makukuha natin around 4.17%, no? Nakastore na yan guys kay alpha x. Next, okay, yung ano natin guys, sabi natin kanina rate of interest equal lang sa rate of discount over 1 minus rate of discount. So, nakastore to kay alpha x, no? So, type na lang natin, guys, yung rate of interest na x. Equate lang natin, guys, kay alpha d. Okay, over 1 minus alpha d. Tapos, maglagay lang tayo dito, guys, ng kama ni alpha d. Para si d yung i-shift solve niya, guys. So, pag shift solve natin yan, inasolve natin kay x, is equals lang natin yan. Si d, okay lang. Sige, start tayo kay 0. Ayun. So, masasolve natin na value ng d dito, guys. Okay, maging equal lang din ito sa 0.04. Or, in percentage, that is equivalent lang din sa 4%. So, ganun lang guys, kumuha, okay, ng value ng rate of discount natin. Alright. So, punta tayo guys sa, okay, problem number 8. Okay na guys, na-screenshot na ba to? Okay, muna tayo sa problem number 8. Miss Evilla borrowed money from a bank and she receives from the bank 1,340 pesos and promised to pay 1,500 pesos at the end of 9 months. Determine the corresponding discount rate or often referred to as the banker's discount. Okay? Sabi natin, future worth equal lang sa present worth times 1 plus IN. Since ang binigay dito guys na time elapsed is in months. So ang gagamitin natin na interest per period is R over 12 ito. Alright? Future worth ng pera natin guys, ay ibabayad daw natin after 9 months. Okay, it is 1,500 pesos. Pero ang hiniram lang na pera ni Miss Evilla is 1,340. Okay, interest per period natin guys, dahil naka-per month tayo. Okay, ginawa natin R over 12. Time elapsed natin is 9 months. Okay, so ganun lang ulit yung gawin natin guys. Mag-shift solve tayo dito. Si R natin guys, gawin natin na alpha x na lang ulit. So multiply tayo ng 1 plus, alpha x over 12. Okay, multiply natin to by 9. Shift solve tayo. Okay. So makukuha natin na R natin dyan guys is around 0.159 to lang ito. Again, nakastore to guys kay alpha x. So in order to get the rate of discount, okay, so sa alpha x, equate lang natin kay alpha d. Okay, all over 1 minus alpha d. Then comma d lang din dito. So solving for rate of discount, okay, automatically nakastore na kasi si, ano dito guys, kay alpha x yung ano natin, no? Okay, rate of interest natin dyan. Okay, lagay lang natin dito guys, comma ni alpha d. Don't forget yung comma ni alpha d, no? Pag na-shift solve tayo, okay, equals lang kay, kung ano man ako natin kay x. Kay d, kahit ano lang naman yan guys. Ayun. So, makukuha natin na rate of discount, it is equal lang kay 0.1373. Or in percentage, that is 13.73% lang ito. Alright. Question guys, okay, about this one. Okay. Okay, so punta tayo guys sa concept naman ng nominal rate of interest natin. Alright? So it is defined daw as the basic annual rate of interest natin. So ang default kapag compound interest yung given sa atin guys, kung sinabi niya na 12%. Okay, compounded quarterly. Okay? So, with that, okay, yung 12% na yan, guys, yun yung nominal rate natin automatically. So, hindi yan 12% per quarter. Okay? So, yung nominal rate na yan, guys, yun yung total na rate natin. Okay? Within 1 year. Okay? So, para makuha natin, guys, interest per period, okay, since R natin is equal to I over M, so, interest per period natin is nominal rate over number of period in a year. Okay, so that will become 12%, okay, over quarterly. Ginagamit natin yan, guys, na 4. So, interest per period natin dito, that will be 3% per quarter ito. Yun talaga yung tunay, okay, na interest kada quarter payments, okay, na nilalagay natin. So, tandaan nyo na, difference ng interest per period tsaka ng nominal rate natin. Alright? Next, punta naman tayo guys sa effective rate of interest natin. So, effective rate of interest daw natin guys, pinaka-formula natin is 1 times 1 plus R over M raised to M minus 1. Sir, ano ba yung ginagawa natin for effective rate of interest? Okay, ang ginagawa natin dito guys, lahat ng mode of payment natin na interest, kunwari, naka-semi-annual, naka-quarter, okay, naka-monthly, naka-daily, naka-weekly. Okay, kino-convert daw natin yon yung mga interest na guys, papunta sa compounded annually. So, itong ERI natin guys, effective rate of interest, same lang din ito dun sa rate ng, okay, pag ginawa natin siya na compounded annually. Okay, so same lang din siya kapag ginawa mo siyang compounded annually. Okay, or mode of payment natin guys, naging yearly siya. Tandaan yan ha. Okay, kaya guys, kung ino-convert natin, okay, lahat ng rate natin papunta sa compounded annually using ERI. So, ERI ng semi-annually, okay, ERI ng quarterly, okay, ERI ng monthly, ERI ng daily, ERI ng weekly. Okay, ito guys, isa lang yan. Kung ano man, no? Okay, yung mode of payment natin, isa lang yan. And that is what we term as, okay, yung equality na yan, and that is what we term as the equivalent rates. Okay, kaya kung gusto mo magbago ng mode of payment, no? Kunwari from quarterly payment, gusto mong gawin siya na monthly payment. No? Okay, so equate mo lang yung ERI nila, okay, para makuha mo yung katumbas na monthly interest, okay, given yung quarterly interest natin. Okay, doon pumapasok yung equivalent rates natin. Okay, and medyo guys, okay, may kaartehan si ERI continuously. Okay, kapag compounded continuously. Eh di ba kapag compounded continuously, M natin is infinity. Na-compute naman natin to last time sa integral sa differential calculus guys. Ano yung limit ni 1 plus r over m raised to m as m approaches to infinity? Tanda pa? Ano yung na-arrive tayo? Ano na-arrive na answer natin dun guys? Ilang? That is e raised to r. That's correct. So, ang formula na to guys, e raised to r minus 1 lang ito. Okay, ito guys, applicable kapag ERI ni continuous compounding. Okay. Sige guys, okay, screenshot niyo muna. Si chapter 9 guys, sa pagkakaalam ko, okay, puro ano lang to, puro annuity lang. That's correct. Okay, assets and equities, liabilities. Ano to guys, more on accounting talaga siya eh. Parang wala, puro annuity lang yun nandito guys, mostly. Okay, effective rate of interest, parang wala siya dito nun guys. Pero let's check pa din. Mukhang wala talaga. Sorry for that. More on annuity lang yun nandito guys. Hmm. Wala. 914? Ano yan? 9th ed? 9th ed, 8th ed. Nine fourteen. Wala guys. Equation 914. Sorry. Naka page 914. 9, 11, 12, 14. Ano na to guys? Compound interest ito. Compound interest siya. Hindi siya, guys? Hindi siya ERI. Pero dyan din naman na-arrive yung ERI natin guys. Gusto ata malaman ng classmate niya yung, effective rate. Ito, meron pala guys. Effective rate 916. 916 guys. Nasa 916. Sa 8 ed, baka nasa 916 din siya. Parang wala sa 8 ed ah. Yun lang. Wala sa 8 ed guys. 9 ed lang meron. Page 925. This one, yun. Meron din. Meron din sa 8 ed guys. Ito, ginamit niya rin dito eh. Okay. So, nasa na rin ito guys? Nasa chapter 9 din naman. Ito pa, equation 916. Okay. Don't worry. Okay, matitrace naman siya guys. Okay, sa handbook natin. Okay. Punta tayo guys sa number 9. Okay, what is the effective rate of interest corresponding to 18% compounded daily? Take down natin 1 year is may 360 days. Okay, so state muna natin yung given. Di ba kung ano naman yung percentage na nakadikit ay compounded something? Yun nagadis nominal rate natin guys. Okay, so kinonsider natin dito, 1 year daw natin is may 360 days. So, M natin, number of period in a year is 360. Sabi natin guys, ang ERI, equivalent lang din sa 1 plus R over M raised to M minus 1 lang ito. So, this will be equivalent kay 1 plus. Okay, 0.18 over 360 raised to 360 minus 1 lang ito. So, in this case, ano yung makukuha natin na effective rate of interest dito? Okay, so makukuha natin is 0.1972 lang din ito. Or in percentage, okay, that is equivalent lang din kay 19.72%. Ayan. So, ganyan lang yung pagkuha, guys, ng effective rate of interest natin. Ayan. So, medyo halos lahat naman, guys. Okay na kay chapter 9 pala natin. Okay, punta tayo guys sa Okay, problem number 10. Na-screenshot na ba to? Pwede na tayo mag-next problem, guys. Alright. Pwede tayo, guys, sa number 10. Okay, what rate of interest compounded annually is the same as the rate of interest of 8% compounded quarterly? Sabi natin kanina, guys, yung compounded annually, same lang din kay ERI. So, pag ginawa natin yung ERI, okay, nang binanggit dito, guys, katumbas na rin yun ng compounded annually. So, in this case, mag-equal lang ito sa 1 plus 0.08 quarterly, M natin will be 4. Okay, raised to 4 minus 1 lang ito. So, ano yung katumbas niyang ERI, guys? Or yung rate niya, compounded annually. Okay, so makukuha natin ni 0.0824 lang ito, or in percentage, that is equivalent lang din kay 8.24% lang din ito. So, ganun lang, guys. Okay, yung kapag mag-transfer ka ng mode of payment, no? So, from quarterly payment, gusto mo siyang gawin na annually. And guys, sabi nga natin, yung ERI, katumbas lang din yan sa compounded annually. Kaya, once na nakuha mo yung ERI, yun na rin yung rate niya, rate of interest niya, compounded annually natin. Question, guys, about this one. Okay naman na yan. Okay, sige. Let's, ano pa, guys? Okay, proceed sa next problem natin. Okay, punta tayo kay problem number 11. Okay, ito, guys, lumabas to sa board exam nung last time lang. Okay, ito daw ata yung lumabas sa board exam. Okay, which of this gives the lowest effective rate of interest natin? Diba sabi natin, guys, kapag na-compounded annually, katumbas lang din yan sa ERI. So, si letter E, guys, automatically, yan na lang din yung ERI niya. Okay, para tayo kay letter B. Okay, gamit tayo ng calc dito, guys, no? Since ang ERI, sabi natin equivalent lang kay 1 plus R over M, raised to M minus 1, kaya ito na lang gawin natin sa calculus. Lagay natin, guys, 1 over, 1 plus, CR natin, gawin natin na alpha x over alpha m raised to alpha m minus 1. Okay, tapos gamit tayo ng calc function. Pag tinanong si x, guys, lagay natin yung mga percentage na binigay. Okay, pag tinanong si m, lagay natin yung number of period na katumbas ng mga binanggit dun sa payment na meron tayo. So, type lang natin 1 plus alpha x, okay, over alpha m. Okay, raised natin, guys, kay alpha m. Okay, minus 1 lang natin ito. Okay, so calc natin, guys, sa letter B. Okay, meron daw tayong 11.9%. Okay, M daw natin semi-annually, so that is 2. Ayun, so ERI na makakompute natin ito, guys, equal lang kay 12.25%. So comparing sa letter A kay letter B, mas mababa, guys, sa letter B. Lowest yung lead natin so mali na sa letter A. So calc natin ito, guys, x natin. Kung ayaw niyong guys, mag-divide by 100, may percentage naman dito. Ayan, 12.2%. Okay, so quarterly natin, guys, equal lang to sa 4. Ayun. So mako-compute naman natin na ERI dito. Okay, equivalent daw ito, guys, kay 12.77%. Okay, again, mas mababa sa letter B. So, mali na, guys, sa letter C natin. So, calculate natin ito, guys. Meron daw tayong 11.6%. Okay, M natin monthly, meron tayong 12 in a year. Okay, so makukuha naman natin ng ERI dito, equivalent lang sa 12.24%. Comparing sa letter B kay letter D, mas maliit na sa letter D. Okay, kaya answer natin dyan guys, okay, makita lang din natin kay letter D ito. So yan yung may pinakamaliit, okay, na effective rate of interest natin. Alright, question guys about this one. Sa mga nag-screenshot, screenshot niya muna. Sa mga nagpa-practice ng ginawa, sige, pag-practice niya muna. Okay, magsabi lang guys kung okay na tayo, no? Okay na mag-proceed sa next problem. Okay na tayo dito guys. Alright, siguro okay na. Punta naman tayo guys sa, okay, ano natin, no? Okay, compound interest formula. Okay, but don't worry, meron naman ito sa Paris. Okay, meron naman tayong compound interest dito guys. Ayan. So, future work natin guys na kay page 923, equation 914 kay 8th ed. Kay 9th ed naman natin yung compound interest formula natin. Okay, nasa page 921 kay 9th ed. Okay, yung equation 914 natin. Okay? So yung N natin dyan, number of years. M natin, number of interest period per year. Okay? Kasi yung nominal interest niya, symbol niya is I, no? Okay, tayo kasi interest per period natin yan. Pero okay lang yun, guys. Ay, ano nangyari? Okay, basta na kay 9.4. 921 ba yun? Okay, basta na kay 921 lang yun, guys. Tapos kapag ano na siya, future worth ng ano natin guys, continuous compounding. Ito guys, nagiging e raised to Rn na siya. Okay, just like yung formula natin dito. Ayan guys, so nagiging e raised to Rn na siya. Alright? Yung single payment present amount factor, okay, yun yung ratio guys ng present worth kay future worth. Si single payment future amount factor naman guys, it is the other way around. Ito yung ratio ni future worth kay present worth natin. Okay, baka yan yung ipahanap okay dun sa board exam natin guys. Okay, yung mga term ng ratios, no? Okay, mga ratios natin. Ayan, naka-indicate pala dito guys, oh. Okay, yung mga name ng factor. Si 1 plus I raised to n, compound amount factor na yun. Single payment, compound amount factor. Okay? So, si ano naman guys, 1 plus I raised to negative n, yun naman yung single payment, present worth factor natin. Yan. So, meron dito guys, no? Okay, meron naming convention yan. Okay, kay 8th ed, ganun din. Okay, may table din dito for sure. Ayan. Okay. So, may mga table din dyan. Kung sino yung mga ratio. So, ratio ni future worth kay present worth, okay, nandito guys. No? Ayan. Tapos yung corresponding pangalan nila. Alright. So, let's proceed na. Okay, sa sample problem natin. Muna tayo kay number 12. A loan daw of 50,000 pesos is to be paid in 3 years at the amount of 65,000 pesos. What is the effective rate of money? Di ba sabi natin ang effective rate, katumbas lang din ng compounded annually. Okay, so kapag nakuha natin yung rate of nominal interest compounded annually, same lang din yun guys sa effective rate natin. Since sabi natin, future worth is present worth times 1 plus I raised to n. Okay, pera daw natin guys, magiging 65,000. Initially, kay 50,000 lang ito. Okay, times 1 plus I na di natin alam. Okay, yan yung interest rate compounded annually. Mag-i-elapse daw to guys ng 3 years. Solving for the rate of interest. Okay, ano yung makukuha natin dito guys? Automatically, dahil annually yan, katumbas na lang din yan ng ERI. So, makukuha natin is 0.0914 lang ito, or in percentage, that is 9.14% lang ito. Alright? Nasundan naman yan, guys. Okay, so let's proceed sa next problem naman natin. An amount of 1,000 pesos becomes 1,608.44 after 4 years compounded by monthly. Ito guys, medyo may nagtatanong, sir, di ba by monthly, twice a month? No? Okay, parang ganun ata yung ano niya guys. Okay, yung concern. Okay? Pero in e-eco guys, okay, English term kasi. Siguro safe na lang sabihin na every 2 months. Okay, ito siguro sabihin natin compounded every 2 months na lang. Okay, find the nominal interest natin. Okay? So, with that, okay, makuha natin dito guys. Okay, parang given natin dyan. Okay, present worth is 1,000 pesos. Future worth ng pera after 4 years, magiging 1,608.44 daw ito. Okay, number of years na binigay, it is 4 years. Okay, by monthly, sabi natin kanina, that is equal lang sa 6 payment in a year. Okay, kailangan natin is the nominal rate of interest. Sabi natin kanina, future worth is present worth times 1 plus R over M. Okay, raised to MY lang ito. Okay? So ito daw guys, magiging 1,608.44 from initial value of 1,000 pesos. Nominal interest, yun yung need natin na makuha. M natin, ginawa natin na 6. Okay, years natin, equal lang daw to sa 4. So, solving for R on this one, matagal ata to pag sheet solve, no? Okay, ang gawin natin, guys, sige, manual natin. So, magiging 1.60844 equal lang kay 1 plus R over 6 raised to 24. I-24 truth natin both sides or raised to, okay, 1 over 24 na lang ito. Equal kay 1 plus R over 6. So, si R over 6 natin, guys, pwede natin gawin na 1.60844 raised to 1 over 24 minus 1. So, R natin is 6 times 1.60844 raised to 1 over 24 minus 1. So, in this case, ano yung maging nominal rate natin? Si Canon ata, mabilis lang yung ship solve niya dito. Si Kasha, guys, pag ganyan tinry nyo, okay, mabilis lang din ba? Kung tinry ko ito kasi dati, guys, matagal siya sa calcio eh. May sagot ba sa inyo? Ayan, matagal, no? Okay, kahit na sana guys yung sa Baguio section natin dito. Okay, sa Canon, mabilis lang. May result ka agad. Si Casio guys, doon daw sila nagtagal. Okay, walang ina-arrive na answer. Ayun na nga, matagal na nga. So ito ay 0.12 lang pag sinolve manually. Okay, or in percentage, it is equivalent sa 12%. Ay po, siya nag-solve. Yun lang. All right. Question guys about this one. Alright. Let's proceed sa problem number 14 natin. Okay, how long daw will it take money to double itself, okay, at 5% compounded annually? Okay, kapag annual naman guys, okay lang na ganito yung gamitin natin ng formula. Okay, yung 1 plus I raised to n natin. Alright? So, gusto daw natin malaman guys, kailan madodoble yung pera. So, this maging 2p is equal kay p times 1.05 raised to n lang ito. We can cancel the p. Okay, kunin natin yung logarithm to the base 1.05 ng both sides. Para guys, yung lumabas sa right side is n na lang. So, ilan ba yung logarithm of 2 to the base 1.05 natin guys? So, that is around, okay, 14.21 years lang din ito. Okay? Pag meron tayong option na 14 and 15, sino mas i-answer natin dito guys? Si 14 o si 15? Okay, so mas i-answer natin dyan guys, si 15. Eh, sir, di ba mas malapit si 14? Okay, kapag ano guys? Okay, kapag i-echo guys, ang utak natin, utak negosyante. So, doon tayo sa mas mataas. No? Okay? Eh, sir, edi 17 na natin, mas mataas yun, di hamak. No? Okay? Pero guys, gusto natin makuha, malapit lang sa doble. Okay? Hindi naman yung sobra-sobra. Okay? So, malapit sa doble na sobra, okay, doon kay 15th year. Sir, paano kung 14.01? Inakuha namin. 15th year pa rin ba? Yes, guys. 15 years pa rin. Basta sumobra na siya kay 14. Kasi kay 14th year, hindi mo pa ma-achieve yung doble. Okay? Close enough lang, pero hindi pa doble. Okay? So, mas maganda, sobra na sa doble. Kaysa kulang. Siyempre, isip natin, mukha tayong pera. No? Okay? Kapag nag-solve tayo ng i-echo. Mas okay na sobra kaysa sa kulang. Alright? Ayan. So, ito naman engineering term yun guys. No? Okay na sobra kaysa kulang. Kasi gagawa naman ng paraan pag sobra. Pero pag kulang guys, yun yung mahirap at yan. Pag nagkulang yan natin guys, okay, sa computation. Ay, masarap paralin yung i-echo guys. Kasi pag nagtatrabaho na kayo, isa rin to sa gamit na gamit. Okay, na maano guys. Okay, na engineering field. Okay, lalo na kapag parang nag-loan kayo guys. Okay, yun, mapapakompute talaga kayo. Or pag nag-invest kayo ng pera, ayan, gamit na gamit niyo yan guys. Okay, punta tayo sa number 15. By the condition of a will, okay, the sum daw of 20,000 pesos is left to a girl to be held in a trust fund by her guardian until it amounts to 50,000 pesos. When will the girl receive the money if the fund is invested at 8% quarterly? Okay? So, state natin yung given. So, ang nilagay daw sa trust fund is 20,000 pesos. Then, patutubuin daw natin to guys hanggang mag-amount ng 50,000 pesos. Alright? So, ang nominal rate na binigay sa atin is 8%. Okay? Quarterly payment daw ito. Hinahanap, okay, kailan daw ito guys? Okay, kailan daw natin makuha? Okay, yung pera para maging 50,000. So, sabi natin future worth is present worth times 1 plus R over M raised to Fy. So, this will be equal kay 50K. Okay, equal lang guys kay 20K times 1 plus 0.08 over 4 raised to 4Y lang ito. So, solving for year Y, ilang number of years? Okay, bago maging 50,000 si 20,000 natin. So, nakuha daw natin dyan guys is 11 point. Okay, 57 years lang ito. Okay? So, kung may 11 tsaka 12 year, okay, 12 year yung i-answer natin dyan. Alright? Question, guys, about this one. Alright. Punta tayo sa number 16. Question. 13th year pa rin yun, kahit 12.01, guys. Yun yung binanggit natin kanina. Kasi sa 12 year, hindi pa rin siya doble. Kulang pa rin sa doble. Okay, mas okay na sobra kaysa sa kulang. Okay. Punta tayo sa number 16. If the nominal interest rate is 5%, okay, how much is 3,000 worth in 15 years in a continuously compounded account? Diba? Sabi natin, ang future worth, pag continuous compounding, it is present worth e raised to rn lang ito. So, present worth ng pera daw natin is 3,000 pesos, Euler's number. Ang nominal rate of interest daw natin is 5%. Okay, number of years na mag-elapse is 15 years. Computing the future worth of this one, ano yung makukuha natin dito, guys? Alright, so that is around, okay, 6,300, okay, 51 pesos lang din ito. Okay. So, ganun lang yung pagkuha, guys. Okay, na future worth ng continuous compounding natin. Okay, meron naman yan dito sa Paris, guys, no? Okay, na formula. Ito, pag continuous compounding. Okay. Alright, let's proceed sa, ano guys, okay, next topic natin. Okay, that is what we term, guys, as, okay, defined as a series of equal payments occurring at equal interval of time. That is what we term as annuity. Okay, and meron tayong 4 types ng annuity. No? So first one, it is a type of annuity where the payments are made at the end of each period, beginning from the first period. This is what we term, guys, as the ordinary annuity natin. Okay? So, yung annuity na yan, guys, okay, nasa Paris lang din naman yan. Okay? May kita lang din natin dito. Ayan, no? Yung mga present amount factor, future amount factor. Okay, yan lang din naman yung ginagamit natin, guys, no? Okay, dito sa, okay, sa ano natin, guys, no, sa annuity natin. Saan nga ba yung concept niya ng annuity? O nauna na. Meron dito formula ng mga annuity, guys. Eh. Sa break even. 923. Wala. Sa 9th ed ba yan? Page, ano yung T923, guys? Table? Ito yung table. Hindi siya kompleto kung naka-table. So, yun lang guys. No? Okay, medyo limited lang siya kung naka-table. Limited lang yung formulas niya. More on, ano lang ata yun nandito guys. Ito pala. Okay, mga nasa table nga natin. Naka-table nga. Ito guys, yung mga nasa table lang yung gagamitin nyo. Okay, so future worth ng ano natin guys. Ito, future worth over ng annuity. Ayan yung formula ng ordinary annuity natin. Okay, yung present worth naman ng annuity guys is this one. Okay, yun nga lang guys, wala dito yung other type ng ano natin, ng annuity. Okay, yung other three types, doon medyo GG. No? Okay, with this, ninth, nandun tayo kanina eh. Ito guys, nasa page 922. Nandito sa mga table natin. Table 920. Ito pala. Table 923, page 925. Okay. So, nandiyan din yung corresponding na ano niya, guys. Kay 8ed. Ito. Kay 8ed, table 924, page 927. Okay. So, puro ano lang yun, guys. Okay, puro ordinary annuity lang. Okay, wala yung ibang type ng annuity natin. Okay, si 8ed, puro ordinary annuity lang yung meron. Okay, so in this case, no, okay, ito guys is at the end of each period. Okay, yung gagamitin natin. Okay, so wag na natin i-derive. Okay, i-recta na lang natin sa formula guys. So, ito yung mga pangalan nila guys, no? Okay, naka-indicate naman yung pangalan yan sa Ferris din, sa table natin. Ito, okay, uniform annual series, thinking fund factor. Yun yung ratio guys ng annuity kay future worth. Uniform annual series, capital recovery factor, yun naman yung ratio ni annuity kay present worth natin. Uniform annual series, compound amount factor, yun yung ratio ni future worth kay annuity. Si uniform annual series, present worth factor, yun naman yung ratio ni present worth kay annuity. Basta kung sino yung pina-find, yun yung numerator natin. Kung sino yung given, yun yung denominator natin. So, hindi yung nakasulat dito, guys. Yan. Yung mga pinagbabanggit yan. Nandun lang pala sa Paris natin, guys. Alright. So, let's try to solve, okay, yung number, ano natin, guys? Okay, number 17. Okay, what annuity is required over 12 years to equate with the future worth of 20,000 pesos? Okay, sabi natin kanina, ang future worth natin equal lang sa annuity. Okay, over I times 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 lang ito. Okay? Or kung gagamitin niyo guys yung Paris, okay, kailangan daw natin hanapin yung annuity given yung f natin. So ito yung ratio niya. This one, I over 1 plus I raised to n minus 1. So parang ano natin guys, A over F is equal lang kay I. Okay, over 1 plus I raised to n minus 1. So, by cross multiplication, ang annuity natin, future work times interest, okay, over 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 lang to. So, that will be equal, guys, kay 20,000 times interest natin na 6%, okay, all over. 1.06 raised to 12 minus 1 lang ito. So, ano yung makukuha natin na annuity natin dito, guys? Okay, so makukuha natin that is 1,185 point. Okay, 54 pesos lang din ito. Ayan. So, ganun lang yung paggamit, yung mga nasa table, no? Okay, ng ano natin guys? Okay, ng Paris natin. 923. Ito. Alright. Question guys about this one. Okay, sige, next tayo. Okay, how much money must you invest today? Okay, in order daw to withdraw 2,000 pesos annually for 10 years if the interest rate is 9%. Invest today, that is present worth. Inahanap yung present worth given yung annuity. Okay, inahanap yung present worth given yung annuity. So ito daw yung formula natin guys. Okay. So, present worth natin, okay, equivalent daw yan guys sa annuity times, okay, 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 over I times 1 plus I raised to n lang ito. Base kay Paris natin guys. So, annuity natin dyan is 10,000 pesos times, okay, 1.09 raised to 10 minus 1 all over, okay, 0.09 times 1.09 raised to 10. So with this, ano yung present worth na makukuha natin dito? Okay, so makukuha natin na present worth, that is equal kay 12,835 point. Okay, 32 pesos lang ito. Ayan. So makikita naman natin yung mga formulas ito guys, depende kung ano yung hinahanap. Pero lahat ng to for ordinary annuity lang. Alright, so ito yung ano natin, sample problem natin. Alright. Sige guys, yung tatlong types ng annuity pa natin, let's discuss it before tayo mag-engineering data analysis on Saturday. Okay, so for now, let's dismiss na muna siguro guys. No? Okay, tapos tuloy na lang natin ito mga natira na parts, okay, dun sa bago mag-engineering data analysis 1. Okay? So, maraming salamat guys. Okay, and see you ulit next meeting.